the FDA does not take any responsibility, of evaluating supplements and their exact amounts. So there is no way you can be absolutely certain that you are taking the right fish oil. So how do you decide? I think you either talk to people who know and have analyzed it, or there are certain companies that are much more reliable than others in terms of the quality. Sooner or later, I think the FDA has to change its approach, but God knows when, where you can examine the composition of the supplement and be stamped and know exactly what it is. But this does not exist today. So I would say it depends either on your physician or your dietitian, who they happen to know what are some of the better ones on the market.
Some people are all about animal-based foods. Some people are all about plant-based foods, vegan diets, things like that. So not everyone eats fish. So fish is a great source of omega-3s. What are the best? I know that you've mentioned this already, but it's worth just saying it again. What are some of the plant-based foods that have higher levels of omega-3s, and how do those compare to the fish oil in terms of the total amount of omega-3s?
Right. So alpha-linolenic acid is the parent fatty acid that is found in earth products rather than aqua. Wild plants like purslane contain higher amounts of alpha-linolenic acid than spinach or lettuce. So purslane is a good source of alpha-linolenic acid. Then when you think in terms of the actual oils, perilla oil, which is the oil that they use in the Far East, is about almost 70% omega-3. So the Japanese who use perilla, they get enough alpha-linolenic acid, which is in the body, can be metabolized, but they also eat a lot of fish at the same time. And so a diet like the Japanese, they get the omega-3s from their oils as well as their fish. The fish oils, in terms of the fish and where it comes from, certainly tuna and salmon and bluefish, sardines and herring are the highest amounts that you would use. But if you were to eat a diet like the traditional diets, you would get your alpha-linolenic acid from your green leafy vegetables. You would get it from all your legumes. Rice and bean is a very good combination. Beans contain alpha-linolenic acid. All traditional diets, when you go down to them, you will see that they had alpha-linolenic acid, they had EPA, they had DHA, they had adequate amounts of omega-6 in terms of arachidonic acid. And then the animals that were grass-fed, they had balanced amounts in their meat, the grass-fed. And so you have to think of green leafy vegetables. You have to think of legumes as alpha-linolenic acid. You have to think of fish and the various types. And then you have to think of the oils that you're going to use to cook. So you really need to think about all of this in order to have a healthy diet.